What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Kid Taj. And yeah, I think I'm gonna make a video later down the line, and that's gonna be about top 5 candidates to win Rookie of the Year. In this video, I'm not really gonna narrow down as much. I'm just gonna talk about the rookie class, the lottery picks for the most part. Yeah, basically just the lottery picks, and like the top picks, top candidates, who I could see winning Rookie of the Year next year. Because right now, it's Summer League season, and this is basically all that's going on right now. I mean, besides free agency technically is still going, but everything's died down. Most of everybody is signed to a team except for, a few players are left to make deals. But, I mean, still, free agency has definitely done most of its part so far. We've seen the big trades and signings go down, and now, I guess we get to wait until the start of the season for more stuff about that. But right now, it's all about the Summer League, and that has to do with these young players and what their impact is going to be in the NBA. People are saying this 2017 NBA draft class is literally one of the best we will ever see. I mean, the expectations are very high for these group of guys, which is completely contrary to what we were saying last year and what we experienced last year with that 2016 draft class, which proved to us that it really didn't hold any promise whatsoever. So little promise that we had the 36th pick in the draft win Rookie of the Year, and he was basically a bona fide role player. I mean, Malcolm Brogdon, no disrespect to the guy because he's a pretty solid player, but he's a legitimate role player, and that's probably always ever going to be, because the guy spent 4 years of college, I think. He's old. He's like 24, and he won Rookie of the Year. So that doesn't tell you anything about the guy who averaged like 10 points and won Rookie of the Year. Like, I mean, things were not good last year, but we have reason to be more excited this year in 2017. And right now I'm about to go through the top prospects and, fill you guys in on who I think has the best chance to win this award. So let's start with Markelle Fultz. Obviously, Markelle was the first overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft. He's the guy I believe will be the best player. I think he's the best player in the draft. I think he will have the best career out of all the players in the draft. Now, the thing with Markelle Fultz is that he's going to be playing on a pretty solid overall team. The Sixers have made some moves. Their guys are all returning this year and supposedly fully healthy, but you do never really know with Philly just because they're always injured. They always have a young guy getting hurt. But their lineup is pretty loaded. I feel like they're going to come out with the starting 5 of Markelle Fultz, JJ Redick, Ben Simmons, Dario Saric, and Joel Embiid. That should be the plan, and maybe you start Amir Johnson, or he gets some time off the bench. We know that Jahlil Okafor is still there, and I think who else? I feel like there's I'm forgetting someone, but the whole point really is that this Sixers team has a lot of talent, and I think Joel Embiid is going to be the number 1 option on this team this year. He's going to be the guy. He's the best player, I believe. I think that's pretty obvious to everybody. And Ben Simmons is going to get a ton of touches too. Markelle Fultz will get his time, and he will be able to score some points, but it's going to be tough for him to put up good enough numbers to take home this award, if he's sharing the ball with all these guys. And look, that's in that case, it's fine because you're sacrificing stats for winning, and you got a ton of guys that can really play on this team. And so, no, I don't think Markelle will win Rookie of the Year because of all these guys getting buckets, but that's good for him because literally this guy is going to be most likely on a playoff team. I think that is if everyone can stay healthy for the most part. I mean, a few injuries here and there probably won't derail playoff chances for this team, but, I expect this team to be in the playoffs, just not Markelle to take home this award. Now, Lonzo Ball was picked 2nd. You guys should already know my thoughts about Lonzo Ball. I'm not that big of a believer in the guy, and it's mostly just about his scoring ability. I have no doubt in my mind he is a very skilled playmaker. He can be a pretty good defensive player, and his spot-up shooting ability isn't bad. I don't think he's going to win Rookie of the Year because I don't think he's going to score enough points. I think that he might put up some nice stats in the assists and rebounds category, but I just don't see him putting up enough points to take home that award. The 3rd pick overall was Jayson Tatum. And the thing with Jayson Tatum is that he's really good, I think. I underestimated him because he looks really good, and he's big. He can play in the post. He's got a really good stroke from all around the court, so he can score. The problem with it is that the Boston Celtics, they're a contending team, or they're trying to contend, and he's not going to get as much minutes as other rookies. So, yeah, I think that will immediately just rule him out. I don't think there's any way he gets into the starting lineup, maybe to play the 4, but it's going to be, I don't know. It's possible, but like I can't predict him just being good enough to start all year long, or start for most of the year, or play more than 25 minutes a game. The 4th pick was Josh Jackson. For Josh Jackson, he's one of the top candidates for me because I think he's one of the best players in the draft, and the team he's on isn't loaded in any way. The Suns were, what were they like? They were like the worst team in the West last year. They have Devin Booker, but they don't have a lot besides Devin Booker. Josh Jackson will be a very big part of the offense. So when I look at this, I think Josh Jackson definitely has a better chance to take home a Rookie of the Year award than Fultz, Ball, or Tatum, because he's going to get more touches than everybody else. I think that he might flourish on this team despite the low number of wins they come up with. I think that he could definitely take home this award. Devin Booker will still be the number 1 guy, but there's no reason why Josh Jackson can't, average 15 plus and be a huge player for this team. The 5th pick was De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is really also a good candidate for this award because I think he's really good as well. I also think he's one of the top 3 players in the draft. Did I say 3? I think he's I think he's the 3rd best player in the draft, De'Aaron Fox, behind Fultz and Josh Jackson. And De'Aaron Fox, man, he's going to have a lot of touches too. Like on this Sacramento Kings team, he's going to be running the point for a team with no one really knows whose team that is. I mean, they've got a lot of young players there, but no one's really sure on how it's going to go. And I think, I think this works. Right now, De'Aaron Fox, Josh Jackson are the 2 guys that I'm looking at, and I'm thinking, yeah, these guys could definitely take home this award. Jonathan Isaac is another guy that, his team doesn't really have a direction or go-to player that we're sticking with. I mean, Elfrid Payton's a young guy, but he's not really the scoring type. Evan Fournier, he's, I guess, the main guy on this team. They got a lot of guys that demand touches like Fournier and Vucevic, and they're trying to develop that guy, Mario Hezonja, who just looks like a total bust right now. Jonathan Isaac is going to be an athletic hustle. I guess he's going to be all over the place. He's going to be playing defense. He's going to be doing a lot for this team. I think that he'll come up with some points. I don't know about how his shot creating ability is. That is definitely something that, I question in terms of his scoring ability. I don't think he's going to win Rookie of the Year because if you haven't noticed, Rookie of the Year, the player who wins Rookie of the Year, it depends a lot on scoring. So scoring is a big part for rookies because that's what everyone's trying to do. When everyone comes in the league, scoring is easily the biggest point of emphasis for rookies. And Jonathan Isaac is a guy that I don't know how many touches he's going to get, and I don't know how good he is at, getting shots for himself. So I'm gonna favor Josh Jackson and De'Aaron Fox over him. Lauri Markkanen on my Chicago Bulls. I think he's pretty good. I think he can shoot the ball, but the Bulls are trash, so I guess, this could maybe work. But the thing is, they're going to have Dwayne Wade on the team. I don't know what Dwayne Wade's plan is, if he's just going to try to take over every game, or if he's going to try to get these other guys involved more. It kind of depends on that. But Dwayne Wade's obviously going to be taking the most shots. He's going to be running the team. Lauri Markkanen, I'm kind of afraid that Lauri Markkanen isn't going to get as many shots as he should be getting. And, I don't think he's as good as, Kristaps Porzingis coming in. So, I don't know. I feel like he could be, 3rd or 4th out of the guys I've talked about. But I don't know about it. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sold on it. Oh, by the way, I think I'm going to talk about the top 10 prospects. I might do a little, I'm intrigued by some of these guys. We got Frank Ntilikina for the Knicks. I really can't see this guy winning it. You got Melo and Porzingis on that team, and this guy is supposed to be just a role player, 3-point shooter, defensive player. So, I don't think he's going to take over any games or do anything huge. Dennis Smith Jr. for the Mavericks is an intriguing player because he's a guy that totally could have gone earlier, and he's super athletic. He's playing for the Mavericks, a team where, you got some guys, Harrison Barnes and Dirk, who are going to, score points. So, I don't know. I think he'd have to play out of his mind to get this award. Zach Collins, center for the Portland Trailblazers. Yeah, I don't really see any chance with this guy. If you have Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum on your team, you're not going to win Rookie of the Year. just because those guys score so many points already. They're obviously gonna be the top dogs on the team. Yeah. Malik Monk, he's interesting. And Charlotte, like, they got Kemba, they have Dwight Howard now, Nicholas Batum. Malik Monk will fit in there. He's not going to be taking over games, I don't think, just because of the team they already have there. And then the last guy I'm going to talk about here is Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard, you know, he's interesting player, very interesting player, because I always thought he was underrated, but he got picked 12th, so I was like, okay, now maybe he's not really underrated because they picked him pretty high compared to what he was expected to be at. He's a guy that can score. He doesn't really have a lot of, you know, athletic tools, but he's a guy that can get his shot. He can shoot threes very well at a very high percentage. And he can definitely score and shoot and everything like that. So his scoring will definitely be something he could use for this. And yeah, I mean, I think that's about it that I'm going to talk about. But for sure, when I look at this, I definitely like Josh Jackson and De'Aaron Fox the most for the Rookie of the Year winners. I think those guys are definitely going to be the top candidates. But yeah, I mean, you never know. Like, somebody like Harry Giles could just like steal the show. All right, yeah, no, that's not happening. But, you know, he's playing for the Kings, and you never know what could happen there. He's also a guy that used to be the number one guy. Supposed to be the number one guy in the fucking draft class, so, you know. Yeah, anyway, that's going to do it. What I say, Josh Jackson, De'Aaron Fox, most likely Rookie of the Year winners based on my observations from this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like. Hit me up on Twitter. Subscribe if you're new. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.